Fuck the Ayatollah. I don't give a fuck about them. What I care about is you guys. Hold on. What I care about is you guys once again lying to us to drag us into the Middle East to fight your fight.
You should give examples. Second of all, if you are going to go against, like you have an opponent or you have an enemy, right? That doesn't agree to negotiate on anything. Okay, basically saying publicly that he wants to eliminate you. What are the other options beside the military one?
You don't get to say they don't negotiate because you motherfuckers killed both of their negotiators in the middle of negotiations.
When did they ever negotiate, man? What did they agree on?
T-Bone, Bell, am I fucking crazy? Or just a few months ago, did they not take out their
didn't you say that Iran doesn't pose a threat to anybody? Just now they try to launch a
so for you to say they don't negotiate when you unalive them in the middle of negotiating, again, you're
4,000 kilometers. You said that you didn't have one.
You're bullshitting.
Am I bullshitting?
Yes, because when you can't even acknowledge that y'all motherfuckers unalived their negotiators in the middle of negotiation, you're bullshitting. You're flat out bullshitting.
Travis, I remember.
Hold on.
You told me that Iran posed no threat
took out the two negotiators
to anybody,
is exactly why
and now it ends up
minister came out 2 weeks ago saying that they aren't fucking with us anymore because you guys are unhinged and you guys don't care about negotiations.
Is this guy a Zionist or something?
100%. Die hard, yeah.
Does Israel pose a threat? Because I heard you ask if Iran poses a threat.
Absolutely not. Israel made peace with peace with Jordan, peace with the UAE.
So let me give Kuwait, you peace with Jordan, peace with Kuwait. That's fine. With up until 2025, you guys have bombed 6 other countries. That includes Lebanon. That includes Syria. That includes Iran. That includes Palestine. Okay, so every single one of those countries attacks you first. So Jordan attacks you first too, right? So it just so happens that hold on, I want to make my question very clear. It just so happens that Israel is in so many different conflicts with other countries within the Middle East, and every single time Israel is defending itself, every single time.
Pretty much. You want examples? I will give you examples.
Okay. So why is it that the strikes earlier in the months on Iran were preemptive and the ones that just started this one against Iran were both preemptive?
Okay, so if I take somebody from the street, I give him a gun and I tell them, hey, go to Tom's house and try to unalive him, right? Am I complicit?
Sure. My question takes me back to what my real.
So then you're saying that America is complicit. That's fine.
Respectful conversation with Tom.
That's fine. You can say that America is complicit. And now, are you going to answer my question?
Okay, so if Iran...
So I'll ask my question again because you ignored my question. Why is it, if you're saying that they are always defending themselves, that within the past months that Iran has been struck twice, that they were preemptive?
Because you just don't know history, apparently, and I'm trying to explain it to you. So if Iran give ammunitions and they give financing to military groups all around Israel that attack Israel constantly, are they liable or not?
Sure.
Okay, so what? So there it is.
Okay, this is the third time. This is the third time now, Ohad. Ohad, this is the third time now that I've had to ask the question. I'm hoping this time I can get a response.
If
every time it's in self-defense, can you answer to me, Ohad? Hold on. Can you answer? Why was the reason? Hold on. You didn't answer, so I'm going to ask it again. Why is it that the first time we bombed Iran within this year, and now this time that we bombed Iran, were they both preemptive attacks?
First of all, because you don't appear to listen to me at all. I ask you a question, you answer yes. So you actually agreed on that.
That's not answering my question. That's you answering my question with a question, sir.
I quite literally did answer your question. And I believe this
so
is
the
going
answer
to,
to my question should be because Iran did this. That should be how you respond to that.
Go ahead and do it and stop speaking, right?
So if you're going to waste my time again, there's no reason for you to speak.
Somebody else.
Ohad, I have a more important question.
I am complicit.
I have a more important question.
I am liable.
I have a more important question. Why are we fighting
supply finance and train?
Why are we fighting your war again? Does the Israeli military not have
and
hands
Israel
to
go
fight
after
their own
Iran
war?
because they are tired of this shit? they are absolutely in the right.
Israeli military
wait, hold on, stop. Do you have a problem with America bombing Iran and helping you all through this conflict?
Why would they have a problem with that?
Okay, because we sold arms to Syria. Exactly. And you have a problem with complicity from Iran selling arms to other countries. We sold arms to Syria, which you all are currently in conflict with.
Syria, you didn't sell. So you
didn't sell arms to Syria. Are you sure?
You gave arms to the Kurds inside of Syria. You didn't give arms to the Syrian government. All the ISIS members that are currently ruling it. At least know about your own country, for fuck's sake.
I was muted.
Do you know about your own country?
Hold on. You're talking about coups. These are coups that the Israeli government was behind.
Exactly.
Right?
Do you know about your own country?
Hold on. They asked us to take part in it. That's how we got the Al-Qaeda terrorist that was on the U.S. enemies watch list to now be in charge of fucking Syria.
And when these whole files come out, you're gonna realize it's your government.
No, you guys just don't know
pedophilia ring.
Like being so naive, being so dumb.
Please put me in the background.
You're so naive.
Please put me in the background.
Things about
okay, 1 second. Hold on, yo.
Please put me in the background. There we go. Okay. So yeah, 2012, 2013, America absolutely provided arms and funding to selected Syrian rebel groups. So if this is the case, hold on. Wait. We provided arms to Syria. Hold on, sir. We provided arms to Syria.
You didn't supply arms to Syria. You supplied arms to the opposition.
Can you mute him? He's always talking
over you supply arms to the Kurds.
Chad, I need you to let him finish, and then you can rebuttal.
It's Ohad.
Ohad. Why do I look like Chad?
His lettering looks weird, but it's Ohad. But Belle, if he keeps interrupting, please do 1 minute, because I got a genuine question for this motherfucker that he doesn't need to interrupt on.
I take it you know him.
Oh yeah.
I don't know this guy.
I wanted to debate him, by the way, 101, and he ran away, by the way, just so you know.
I did not.
Who ran away?
You wanted me to go into your Zio panel when we were trying to have a one-on-one debate in Miss Julie's panel, and you wouldn't shut the fuck up and got booted.
Brother, I asked you if you want a one-on-one debate with the moderator.
We were in the middle of one-on-one on Miss Julie's panel, and you couldn't shut the fuck up to where Miss Julie had to boot you.
Y'all want to have one here? You want to have a one-on-one lightning debate?
Sure.
No, he won't shut up. That's the issue.
There is no debate.
It's annoying.
And T-Bone, this isn't me refusing. This is the honesty.
Yeah, Ohad isn't in the league, so it won't really matter much. But I mean, Travis can take the 1v1
if we can actually have honest time to communicate back and forth, but this constant interrupting to me is not a debate.
Okay, great. So let's do this, okay? Excuse me. The way this is going to be structured, you're going to have a 2-minute opening, you're going to have a 3-minute critique, and then there's going to be 15 minutes set aside for both of you to be able to have a conversation, and then you're going to have a 3-minute closing. Okay? Sound fair? Ohad? Right?
Cool.
No one interrupts you. Travis, no one interrupts you. Everybody gets their fair time to speak on this.
Yeah, I'm down.
Ohad, do you agree?
Yep.
All righty. Go ahead and set it up. Give me 1 second.
And then you can let Ohad go first.
Well, I can't read that. What is that? Geekman?
Call me Jay.
Jay, you stay muted, okay?
This is gonna get good, I promise.
All right, Belle. So if you can go back and you can check in the Discord to see if there's any of the judges that would be available. The way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to have it timed out for both of them, and then we'll have this recorded on your live so someone can go back and judge the winner afterwards, and then we'll submit the points after that.
Okay.
Since there's no judge that's readily available now. I'm going to do a coin toss. Does anybody want to call the coin toss to see who goes first?
You can let Ohad go first. I ain't tripping.
Ohad, you want to go first?
I said tails. If Travis wants me to go first, sure. But I would love.
Sure, you can go ahead. And
I would love
first,
to have a back and forth and not just me saying
so
stuff.
Yeah, you'll have the back and forth. You're going to have a 2-minute statement. Hold on just a second. You're going to have a 2-minute statement to be able to give your claim or what you believe to be the case, and then he's going to have 2 minutes, and that's how we're going to be able to get into that opening. And then I'm sorry, open dialogue, and then you're going to have a 2-minute closing afterwards.
Sure, I would love Travis to start, but I would also request that we try to keep it to like 3 topics and not go all over the place.
Doesn't have to, you can make one claim if you want to.
Is that one person will just make 100 points, right? And then nobody can respond to them.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So again, it's going to be a 2-minute where you get to make whatever claim you want to, say whatever you need to say, and then Travis is going to have 2 minutes. And then there's going to be the 3-minute critique of both of you, and then we're going to have the open dialogue between both of you for 15 minutes where you guys can go back and forth, and then it's going to be a 2-minute closing. Okay?
Sure. We'll start.
Great. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second to get the timer. All right, the 2 minutes is going to start as soon as you start speaking. Go ahead, Ohad.
Sure. I think it's pretty obvious that Israel does want peace, even though you lie about it constantly. Even now, with what is happening in northern Israel and Hezbollah, you actually see the Israeli government talking with the Lebanese government because they actually want the same goal. They want to eradicate Hezbollah that basically occupies half of their country, the entirety of southern Lebanon, right? It was Hezbollah that started firing rockets toward Israel before Israel responded. It was the Houthis that started firing rockets into Israel before Israel responded. It was Iraqi militia that fired rockets into Israel before Israel responded, also drones. And it was Hamas that started the entire thing with the October 7 massacre. And if you want justification to what's going on right now between Israel, Iran, and the US, right? Iran, for ages now, have publicly said that they want to completely eliminate Israel, completely wipe it off the map, right? By the way, they don't care about Palestinians because they seem to be shooting them constantly with rockets. And if you just take a look at what they've done in the Middle East with all of their proxies, financing, training, ammunition that they are supplying to them, right? You will understand that their entire strategy revolves around creating a ring of fire around Israel, right? In order to destroy it. If you are telling me that Israel is not justified by, taking it up to them, right? Back to the people that are the culprits, back to the main financiers of global theism around the world, then you are either delusional, right? Or you just hate Israel. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, time is up. 2-minute response. Travis, on your first words, go ahead.
Okay, so since the outbreak has begun, the Israeli military has killed at least 20,000 children. Now, that is a low estimate considering that they also destroyed the records buildings within Gaza. If you look back to who wants peace, since 1988, Hamas has presented 16 ceasefires and truces, trying to pause the hostilities, so much so that they were even willing to accept two-state solutions. You have Netanyahu going all the way back to the 1990s, talking about and bragging how he is the one, the Israeli official him, has prevented the ceasefires, prevented the two-state solution. Netanyahu himself has also talked publicly about funding Hamas, telling the Qataris to release the funds to Hamas, and helping institute Hamas back in 2006 when the votes took place, where Israel did not withdraw from Gaza. They repositioned to commence a siege on the borders, controlling the air, water, and roadways. Even in the West Bank, where they violated their borders from 1967 and worked their way into Area B and even parts of Area A, where they should not be. When you add all this with the years going on and the fact that we are once again fighting Israel's war based on bullshit that has nothing to actually do with us. They lied to us about 9/11. They attacked the USS Liberty. They tried to assassinate Truman twice. They had a plan on Obama that was foiled. None of these actually say ally. None of these actually say any of it is working towards the American interest. And actually, it's counterproductive to American interest when you attack our ships, when you lie to us to fight your wars, and when you try to assassinate our presidents. And when it comes down to in Gaza, again, 16 truces since 1988 by Hamas, even calling for two-state solutions that Netanyahu and the Likud party specifically have denounced. You also have Smotrich, Gavir, Gallant, all making public statements about how it is about destruction and damage, not precision. That, to me, does not say that they give a fuck whether there's civilians there, whether they're human shields or not. Thirdly, if you're the most moral military in the world and you see there is a high civilian population in the conflict zone and you know the opposition is using them as shields,
time. That's time, Travis. We got time. Okay, so we got two options here, and I'm going to let you guys decide. We can either have a 20-minute open session where both of you guys can go back and forth and somebody can moderate it, or you guys can have 3 minutes to respond to what your opponent said. Oh, my God. 3 minutes to respond to what your opponent said and give critiques, and then we can do a 15-minute open dialogue. Which would y'all prefer?
Let's go with that. I would love to respond to Travis, but I will mention that I fear that what is happening is that, and I don't want the debate to go this way, because what usually happens, they make a lot of different points. And now I have about 4 points that I want to respond to.
Okay, so then here's what we'll do. We'll do the 3 minutes so you can respond uninterrupted to the claims that he made within his opening. That gives you enough time to hit every single point. And then Travis will get another 3 minutes, and then we'll do a 15-minute open session where we moderate it. Okay?
Sure.
All righty.
You are saying...
Hold on. We're good to go? We good?
I think so.
Okay. But on your first words is when you start.
Sure. I think that what you forgot to say about Hamas making, declarations of we want truce, is that every single one of them happened after they attacked Israel and started losing. Every single one of them. Okay. You are talking about the West Bank as if it's not hostile to Israel, yet Mahmoud Abbas literally have a doctrine inside of his government that if you unalive a Jew, you get paid for the rest of your life. It's called the pay to slay, or on their terms, the martyrs program, and you are more than welcome to look it up, right? If the Palestinians living in the West Bank pose a threat to Israel, Israel is absolutely in the right to make whatever necessary security-wise to make it impossible for them to conduct the same kind of attack that Hamas did on October 7, or to fire rockets as Hamas have done for ages before October 7, right? For years on years on years, Hamas have attacked Israel constantly with rocket fire, and Israel didn't do anything about it, right? The times that it was completely blown up is when they started shooting like 100 missiles a day, rockets a day. And then usually it went like a military operation. Everybody, like if Israel just wanted to annihilate them, they were absolutely capable of doing so. But the fact that they waited for years via rocket launchers and just let it happen means that they are not seeking conflict. And this is something that you just glance as if it doesn't happen. There are a lot of people that had to escape their houses, escape their home, because they couldn't live there anymore, right? You only have like 5 to 10 seconds to escape rocket fire at this area, the Gaza envelope. And you've been mentioning Israel funding Hamas, right? Which is an insane thing to say, right? Sadly, there are a lot of different governments around the world that want to fund Gaza, they want to fund the West Bank, and sadly, for everybody, the West Bank is governed by a terrorist, and Gaza is governed by a terrorist. So if you want to bring money into Gaza, for whatever you want, right, you are going to end up with Hamas having it, and this is what Israel have been saying for ages. So you are saying two things that doesn't make any sense. You want Gaza to prosper, right, but if Israel is actually bringing the money from the EU or from Qatar or from the United Arab Emirates into Gaza, you are going to say that Israel funded Hamas. No, they just let in the money that European Union wanted to bring into Gaza, and very sadly, Hamas is the one control.
That's it right there. Wow, that was a pretty good time. Travis, your 3 minutes starts on your first. Words.
Netanyahu argued that maintaining the flow of cash was a strategic move to keep Hamas strong enough to serve as counterweight to the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, thereby preventing the establishment of a unified Palestinian state for years. Specifically, starting around 2018, Netanyahu's government authorized the entry of suitcases containing millions of dollars from Qatar into Gaza, which was managed by Hamas. So when you say he didn't allow it, or he didn't support it or partake in it, he literally did. And he made the argument that it was to keep Hamas strong enough to fight the PA in the West Bank, thereby preventing the unified state. So you're factually wrong on that. And again, Netanyahu himself has publicly made these statements. But when we're talking about October 7th, right, it was such a terrible thing. And it was. I'm not trying to diminish that. A lot of people lost their lives that they didn't need to lose their lives. But tell me, why is it then that Israel saw them training, saw this preparation for a year, knowing it was going to happen and allowed it to happen? Why was a stand-down order given? Why was the Hannibal directive given? Because they knew it was going to happen and they wanted to use it as a justified means to go in and annihilate. And you say, if they wanted to wipe them out, why don't they? 90% of Gaza is obliterated. They are wiping them out. So again, all of your arguments on fact are falling on their ass because they are opposite to what the reality is. And if Netanyahu really wanted a ceasefire, again, 16 of them presented by Hamas, where all they wanted was the return of all hostages, including the 5,000 Palestinians that Israel keeps taking without justification or cause and imprisoning them and holding them without charge. They wanted an end to the hostilities of Israel and the U.S. bombing the fuck out of their area. And they wanted a Palestinian state so they can have actual global rights like Israel has. So everything you're saying is just factually wrong to the actual history of what happened. This is what we mean when we talk about Zionist propaganda trying to brainwash us, because you're giving us bullshit. The facts are easily verifiable. Easily. And earlier, I know this wasn't a main point, and it's going to probably go into the open, which is fine. But earlier, you said we were crazy because we said Shahad was the leader in Syria now, who was a former Al-Qaeda terrorist that the U.S. had a bounty on. He was on one of our highest watch lists, and Israel and the U.S. helped that motherfucker get into power in Syria right now after al-Assad. So everything you're saying, everything is counter to what actually happened. And if I'm early, I'm early. I'm cutting it there.
Alrighty. So at this point, what we're gonna do is have a 15-minute open dialogue between both of you guys. Bella's gonna have to moderate it because I have to step down. I'm gonna start the timer. I'm gonna do a countdown to that timer, and then Ohad, you can start out with statements and you guys go to a 1v1. Bella's gonna moderate it, so if you guys start over speaking, doing any type of crazy shit, she'll deal with that. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
I want to respond to the latest thing you said, and then tell you why I don't know, you don't even make sense with the first one. So Israel and the US supported the Kurds. They never supported al-Ashar, right? The people that did support al-Ashar were the Turks. The Turkey, right? Turkey support al-Assad in order to take over the Assad regime, right? It has nothing to do with Israel or even the US, believe it or not, right? But the US tries to make up with what they have, and what they have, sadly, is an Al-Qaeda member.
So
right?
Are you saying
Israel already attacked them, so I have no idea where you're coming from.
Are you saying Israel did not want al-Assad taken out?
Israel didn't want to support the person that took Assad out. It doesn't mean that they didn't want them out. They do support the Kurds that are also opposition to Assad. But this is, you actually give a very good example of how you warp reality in order to get your narrative that you are trying to put out. So I said that Israel didn't support the Al-Qaeda member that is currently ruling Syria, and then you're saying, so they must support Assad. Both of them
when you look at the facts, though, right? He was supported by us. He was supported by the U.S. and Israel and partly Turkey. You're right, and I left Turkey out, and that was my bad. Turkey did partly support it, but what the problem was that Israel helped create that power vacuum that ultimately led to their rise. Now, they may not, and it may be my fault for not phrasing it correctly, they may not have directly put him in, but their actions are directly what caused him going in. The bunker busters in southern Syria, the invasion into southern Syria going 200-something kilometers in. All of that created the power vacuum for these resistance groups to rise up and take the power, and that is exactly what Israel's MO has always been. get these radical groups into power to continue fighting to prevent the establishment of a Palestinian state.
What does Syria have to do with a Palestinian state? What are you talking about?
Because they're all allied together.
I don't think that you know any of the groups that live there.
Israel has been very open about wanting to refuse and prevent
which are the
any
groups that live in Syria?
establishment of a Palestinian state. And these actions that Israel has been doing is exactly how you prevent the establishment of a state.
So you have the Druze. Are the Druze supporters of the Palestinians?
The who? I couldn't hear you. What?
The Druze living in Syria. Are they supporters of the Palestinians?
I would argue it's a mix, but some yes, some no.
No, they absolutely don't. Are the Kurds supporters of the Palestinians?
There's a good population of Kurds that are Palestinian.
Absolutely. What are you talking about, my guy? So the Kurds are not supporters of Palestinians. The Druze are not supporters of Palestinians. The Alawites, you can say that they are supporters of Palestinians, but they are also supporters of Assad. So just know that this is the group that you are lying against, right? And if you are going to tell me that I'm aligned with Assad, but yet you support the literal group that supported them all along, I don't know what to tell you.
And I'm not going to argue on the Druze, but the Kurds absolutely do.
The Kurds absolutely do not support Palestine.
Yes,
what
they
are you
do.
talking about?
What the fuck
no,
are you
they don't.
about?
They actually literally get arms from both Israel and
After we abandoned the Kurds and allowed the Turks to come in and slaughter them, yeah, they
do. We're pausing just a second. I'll pause the timer. Go ahead.
Fact check. Support for Palestine among Kurdish people is very high recently. So,
like I said, after we left them to get slaughtered by the Turks, yeah, they do support the Palestinians.
Timer's still going.
And Bell just proved it. Bell just fact-checked it. So again, everything you're saying is fucking wrong.
No, you just have no idea what's going on, and you don't even know the ethnic groups that live there.
No, I admit it. The Druze, I don't know. The Druze, I don't know. But the Kurds, I was right. 100%, they do support the Palestinians.
No, they don't. They literally get arms from Israel in order to fight the same Turks that kind of took over the country right now.
Radical factions of Kurds, maybe yes, but as a whole, most of the average Kurdish people support the Palestinians.
Do you want to show actual polls? Because I promise to you,
most
Kurds support Israel.
Bell just fact-checked. And that wasn't the claim. Hold on, that wasn't the claim either. You asked if they supported the Palestinians, not who they support more.
Brother, if I gave you support the Palestinians, but it's 20%, right? You are not making a valid point.
Ultimately, there is no monolithic Kurdish stance. It ranges from formal diplomatic recognition of Palestine to pragmatic pro-Israel viewpoints within different segments of the Kurdish population.
Sure, I agree with you, but I'm saying the majority of the Kurds support Israel over Palestine.
No.
This is what it is.
No monolithic stance.
I never said monolithic stance.
You can't argue which is more or less though. Yes, there's a population on both sides that support both sides, but there's
you might as well find the Druze that support Palestine. It doesn't mean
but that's still getting away from your original claim.
Right?
Your original claim saying they don't support the Palestinians at all.
Yeah. You said that they don't support, and I fact-checked it.
By the way, on the governmental level...
Hold on. It's highly varied rather than universal, while many identify with Palestine struggles.
Sure. On the governmental level, whatever little government they have, do not support the Palestinians. Can we just agree on that?
The Kurdistan regional government in Iraq focuses on formal ties with the PA, but public support is limited compared to other parts. So they specifically, and it's still Palestine, they support the PA. They may not support Hamas, which that's a different argument. But as far as Palestinians, because Palestinians are not inherently Hamas.
Sure, but that's like saying that Italy doesn't support Israel over the Palestinians because they also have meetings with the PA. So do you understand why this is a very far stretch? But I think that we are grinding water at this point. So I want to address the things that you say earlier. You mentioned, you basically agree with me that Israel gave money to Gaza on the ask of Qatar, right? Qatar asks to get money into Gaza, and you have Israel agreeing to do so. But what I think that you didn't even said, right? You failed to even acknowledge is the fact that the government of Gaza is Hamas. If you want to quote unquote help the Palestinians, give them money in order to better themselves, right? It has to pass through Hamas. You can't go to individual Palestinians and provide them with, here you go, here is a bunch of cash, right? It doesn't work. Hamas will take it anyway, right? So I simply don't understand your point. Because it seems to me that you are agreeing with me.
No, because reports indicate that Netanyahu was warned twice that the Qatari cash was being diverted by Hamas to its military wing, and he still permitted the transfer. He knew it was being taken, and he still permitted it.
The reason why I think that you are an hypocrite on this is because if he haven't gave a single dime into Gaza, you will say that he is starving them or, like financially collapsing them on purpose, right?
Okay,
but once he gave them money,
if someone asks you for money and you're warned that they're going to go buy smack with it and shoot up and OD, and you still give them the money, are you complicit?
Again, yes, but you need to understand that Israel was in a position.
Complicit. So he is still complicit in Hamas receiving this money by ignoring 2 warnings and still permitting the transfer.
First of all, he is the one making the warning. They didn't listen.
No,
right?
the Qataris warned him. The Qataris
no, that's absolutely
him and he
false.
Authorized it. No, it's not.
Qatar are the last people that have warned about anything. Right? Qatar actually support Hamas. Okay, this is the reason why. This is the reason why they have them on their territory. Don't tell me otherwise.
They're the central bank and the main mediator for the region, and they were warning Netanyahu.
They are central bank to Hamas. Yes, they gave a lot of money to Hamas
for the Middle East.
Thank you very much. So if you are going to say, right, that on one end, right, Israel doesn't give money to the Palestinians, on the second end, Israel is guilty for giving money to the Palestinians, yes, you are an hypocrite.
No,
and I think that you are mistaken on what
you're doing
how
that thing
you
again where I
approach
just
this from the
stated
beginning.
Palestinians and Hamas are not inherently the same. We are talking about
But
Hamas
they are
funding,
the
not
government.
Palestinian funding. Those are two
Also,
separate
you said
things.
something pretty insane. You said that he gave money to Hamas in Gaza in order to weaken the PA in the West Bank. Can you please explain that? Because I think there is a pretty long stretch of land.
No, it's really
between the two of them.
Who are you saying? Hold on. Who are you saying gave money to Gaza? Who?
Well, no, he's conflating. We're not talking about Palestinian funding. We're talking about specifically Hamas funding, and the fact that Qatar warned Netanyahu twice and he still permitted the funding.
Can you please tell me the difference, right? If you are giving money to Gaza, who does it go to?
Again, if you're warned that it's going to get taken and you still allow it, then you are complicit.
Again, nobody wants anything. You give money to an ordinary Gazan, right? What happens to it?
The Qataris warned him twice.
The Qatari didn't want shit. What happens if I give right now $50,000 to a Palestinian, random Palestinian inside of Gaza? What do you think happens to it?
Fact check. Did the Qataris warn Netanyahu about funding being diverted to Hamas? You're going to see the same thing I'm seeing.
Quite literally the opposite.
They were warned twice, and he still permitted the transfer to continue.
It's quite literally the opposite. You see the Qataris, and you see a lot of the other allies of them saying for ages, no, nothing happens with the money. That's all good. And then you end up with a lot of aid being diverted, a lot of financing being diverted, and then you end up with $5 billion being spent on talents instead of the Palestinians themselves.
Yes, but what he said, I fact-checked, and it's true. It's a yes.
Again, Israel said for ages. Israel said for ages that every single dime going into Gaza is going to end up under Hamas hands. Nobody listens, and then they are pressuring Israel in order to provide money to Gaza anyway.
No.
We under the precepts of economical sanctions. So if the EU is telling you, hey, you have 2 options. Either we sanction you or you give money to Gaza. And then you tell them, hey, if I give money to Gaza, it's going to end up under Hamas. And they are telling you, yeah, we don't care. We want you to give money to Gaza. This is our money, and this is how we want to spend it. And it must pass through Israel because Gaza is using shekels, right?
That's not what the fuck happened. Well, first
off, it happened literally all the time. What are you talking about?
First off, we weren't saying shit about giving money to the Palestinians. What we were complaining about was the fact
My God, it's the same thing.
Hold on. We were complaining about the fact that Israeli settlers were destroying aid trucks at the Rafah border. The fact that those that were trying to flee, they were striking during the passage.
The Rafah border is controlled by Egypt.
This is all fact proven. This is all proven.
At least know your facts because they absolutely haven't been on the Rafah border.
So, Travis, can you please pull up that source yourself right now? Because I have to do it on the other phone, and that means I have to turn off the camera because people are asking in the comments, even though I checked it.
There's Al Jazeera, BBC, Times of Israel. I know BBC is discredited. I'm not using that one, but Times of Israel and Al Jazeera are both saying that yes, Qatari warned him twice, and he ignored it.
Wait. What is Al Jazeera? What is Al Jazeera besides a literal Qatari-funded news outlet? By the way, do you know that Al Jazeera is not permitted in Jordan?
Okay, so then what's your problem
Egypt,
with Times of Israel?
In the UAE?
What's your problem with Times of Israel? Because Times of Israel and Haaretz are both reported it, and those are Israeli publications.
Yeah, the thing that you will find it in the United States as well. That if you have a political enemy, right, you are going to go against them in any way, shape, or form, right? So if you get very bad press from Qatari literal propaganda and it suits your political agenda, you are going to spend time.
What's your problem with Times of Israel and Haaretz? Because they both are reporting it as well.
I literally explain it to you, but you don't listen.
You're talking about Al Jazeera and the Qataris. That's not Times of Israel.
Again, I literally explain it. I will explain it again, but you need to listen because apparently you don't, right? If you have a political enemy, right, and you want to go against them, everything is valid. Even if your source is literal Qatari propaganda, you're going to use it if it means doing what you wanted, which is to bash under your political opponents.
So Haaretz and Times of Israel is Qatari propaganda, even though they're based in Israel.
Sadly, that happens quite a lot, and it's happened in the US as well.
See, no,
you see a lot of quote unquote mainstream media, but they are doing the biddings of the likes of Tasnim News. And I can give you an example out of the top of my head. Recently, there have been like a rocket that have hit a school in Iran, right? You see ABC going and saying the United States have hit a school in Iran of schoolgirls, right? And the only source for it, is Tasnim News, a literal state-funded propaganda outlet of the Iranian regime. And it's literally listed inside of the ABC article.
That the school was a U.S. Tomahawk. Our own state intelligence confirmed that. Not some fucking news reporting.
What do you say, Nost?
Our state intelligence, the pro-Zionist government intelligence, confirmed that it was a U.S. Tomahawk missile. So what the fuck are you talking about is some Qatari bullshit. This is shit. This is what I mean by you don't know how to debate. You just spit out propagandic bullshit. Everything I've said, Bell can fact check everything I've said to be true. Everything. Nothing you've said is true.
You literally lied like 7 fucking times, and I literally gave you the corrections on the things that you either don't know.
No, you gave me propagandic bullshit. I gave you verified facts.
And you started talking about the Hannibal Directive. You started talking about other bullshit that is literally Max Blumenthal propaganda. Max Blumenthal is a literal Iranian assent.
No,
you understand
the Israeli government admitted
do you want to tell me how the gray zone is called?
They admitted they issued it.
So, Host, I want you to search the gray zone, and I want you to ask ChatGPT or whatever other thing you like, right? What their credibility is, right? And who are they adjacent to? Because the literal person that started this whole lie about the quote-unquote Hannibal Directive on October 7 is literally Max Blumenthal. So you don't know your facts, you don't know where they are coming from, you just repeat them like a parrot. And this is an issue that I take serious issue with, right? That you always try to minimize what the opponents of Israel is doing.
Okay, enough. You're all done. You will be judged based off of everything you said up until now by a special judge.
T-Bone said 2-minute closing.
Oh, 2-minute closing. Go ahead. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead,
I'll let him go first. Oh, you okay? So, based on reports and investigations, particularly from Haaretz and international media, the Israeli military has been documented to have used the Hannibal Directive on October 7th. Yoav Gallant confirmed it in a televised interview in February 2025 that the directive was used tactically in areas on October 7th, making the first public admission by a senior official, not some Qatari bullshit, not some Hamas bullshit, not some Iranian bullshit, your own Israeli official admitted that. So when you say again, it didn't happen, once again, you're not speaking facts. You're not speaking honestly. And that's why I don't like debating you, because it's nothing but propagandic bullshit. And that's all I got to say for my 2 minutes.
Thank you. Ohad, your turn. 2 minutes. Starting now.
First of all, what you're saying is, yet again, actual propaganda. Yet again, the only sources that you can cite for it are the likes of Al Jazeera, right? Because those are the only sources that you can have for it, sadly. I've seen the interview in Hebrew, a language that you don't even speak. You have no idea what you're talking about. And no, the Hannibal Directive wasn't used on October 7. It was decommissioned in like 2008 or something. But besides this point, right, you have so many videos showing what Hamas gleefully, right, done to innocent people in the streets, in the Nova Festival, in the kibbutzes, yet you are going to try to minimize it because probably silently inside of your little mind, you actually support what they're doing. So you're always going to whitewash what happened in order to do two things. One, make Hamas seem less guilty of what they have brought themselves on the Palestinians that they are ruling on. And second, to make Israel look as some kind of demonic, right, when none of it is true. Israel is still defending himself, and Hamas is still unalive with Palestinians, and you don't say a single thing about it.
Are you done? Is that it, Ohad?
Yep.
Alrighty. Y'all are all set. Yay, wonderful. Everyone else can rejoin.
I fully support the resistance.
Like I said, you'll be judged on everything that was said.
He just admitted it. So thank you very much.
I support resisting occupation, yes.
So you support Hamas. Thank you very much for admitting it.
I support resisting occupation.
Yes, I made my point. Thank you very much, host. Bye-bye.
Wait, no, hold on. Because you got people that want to speak to you after all of this. Oh, well, fuck off.
Yeah, only thing.
I just find it diabolical in 2026 for people to still be pro-Israel. I'm sorry.
It's not diabolical. But like the only thing I was
I mean,
is like when I was looking it up, it said like it was telling me that you were right, Travis, about when they were warned about it. It just wasn't. I guess misunderstood what you were saying. I thought you said like somebody from Qatar did it, like was warning them, but it was their own person, counsel that actually was warning them because he knew he actually was part of that investigation. I guess with Qatar. I just misunderstood.
So being anti-terrorism pro-Israel because I don't like Hamas.
So, Bill, what's the policy on the panel hosting demons? I wasn't aware y'all were going to do that.
Demons.
I'm sorry. One more time.
What's the panel policy for hosting demons? I was under the impression y'all wouldn't be doing that.
Who's a demon? Ohad?
Yeah.
Well, no, listen. He lives in Israel. He is Israeli. I can understand his bias.
I know that. I just called him a demon.
Okay, well, listen, we platform everyone.
Okay.
It's a free speech platform. We take debates from anyone. It is what it is, whether they be a demon or an angel.
Got it. I was just trying to get some clarity.
We platform American demons, Israeli demons.
Wait, do y'all hate the Israeli civilians?
European demons, actual demons, biblical demons.
Just like Israelis or the civilians or the government from there?
IDF. I'm personally against the IDF.
I'm against the government. I'm not against the Israeli people.
The entire population at one time was the IDF.
Except Ohad.
Well, that's not the case. It's incorrect. I'm against the IDF, the ones who actually carry out the orders.
And the Knesset.
Does anyone here believe in like those radical conspiracies about them controlling our government and all that? Or controlling the world and all that shit?
No. I do think that
no, not at all.
I think that they're all over the E-files, specifically with Ghislaine and E-Man's ties to, like, Ghislaine's dad and the Mossad and all that.
I'm hearing conspiracies that they're using those files to control Trump and control our government and all that shit.
No, AIPAC controls Trump because they were his top donors, and politicians listen to their top donors.
Correct.
Why he's been showing so much support towards Israel lately?
Well, Miriam Adelson gave him like $250 million.
That's a lot of money.
So we're winning the war, though, right? At least that's a good thing.
What war?
Define winning. Define winning, because there's no clear goal that's been stated.
We're beating Iran in the long run, so...
How are we beating Iran? We're actually rallying their people against their flag.
No, we did it. They killed 30,000 of their own people, and
that's an unverified number.
Even their own population is like cheering for American intervention.
That's an unverified number.
No, this happened.
Ben says, what is that?
No, they unalived their people. I know that. I'm not disputing that. But that number, 30,000, has not been verified.
Well, then they also blocked the internet out and all that shit.
So that is Donald Trump's AIPAC donation record. It's probably higher than that now, but it's like 230 plus mil. And then
most of that was Miriam Adelson.
Yeah, and then on the left side, it is how AIPAC is targeting Thomas Massie, because he's one of the few people in the government that will not take money. So
it's not fitting. It cut down the middle on both of them.
Right.
Yeah. Either way, you can minimize it. It's not. You get what I just told you is the gist of it.
And y'all motherfuckers in Kentucky, you need to show out for Massie, because Trump's gonna be gunning for him.
Hey, well, you know what? I think we're winning the war overall. It's not even a war; it's a squash.
We're not winning shit. This isn't even our war.
No, hold on. We're squashing them.
Okay, squashing who exactly?
This is our war.
The enemy over there in Iran. That's who we're squashing.
This is not our war, FB. This is Israel war.
This is a joint attack. This is our war.
Regardless, we're winning it. So, we should that's the good news, right? We're winning it.
I think we got pulled into it, but this is a joint attack. We gotta own it.
Bill, how many of those schoolgirls were unalived in the first week? 70 or so?
That's unverified.
I thought it was like over 100 something.
120, I think.
Yeah.
No, it's unverified.
No, it's verified. 160 with like 14 teachers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
so yeah, that's the kind of war you want to win?
That's been verified.
No,
and it's also being reported that school was triple striked, not just double, but triple striked.
I don't agree with that, but it's the regime. They're just dangerous. We need to take them out.
Who are they a danger to? Because it ain't us.
Yes, they be saying death to America and Americans.
They can say it all they want, but what are they doing? Nothing.
No, the government.
But also look at why they're saying that, right? Why would any nation, after we went for 40 plus years fucking up their region, ever say unalive to us? I wonder. Could it be the 40 years that we were fucking up their region and unaliving their people?
That's not even the issue. The issue is they don't mean us as civilians. They're talking about our government.
Correct.
Just like we don't like other governments.
Correct. Bell's right. Ahmadinejad actually came with as a video, multiple videos on YouTube explaining when we chant unalivement to Israel and America, we are not talking about the American citizens. We are talking about the puppet AIPAC JEWs controlling the United States. His words, not mine.
I know, but that's where I got to push back, because to me, it's not about the Jewish people. This is where Zionism has hijacked Judaism, but Christian Zionists are the bigger problem.
It's literally just solely about
Christian Zionism is a problem, but if you're trying to kind of whitewash Judaism as a whole, I mean, the only Jews that are against what the Greater Israel Project and what's going on right now are doing so on a technicality, and that's just because the Messiah hasn't come. Once the Messiah comes, they believe they're entitled to the land. They'll enslave the goyim, the whole deal. So it's just a technicality.
Hold on a minute. See, this is where they effed up, though. This is where they effed up. The Messiah came and they unalived him, and that's why these people are always going to be they're always going to live in unrest, in my opinion.
I mean, Belle, do you remember the tunnels in New York?
Yes.
Okay. Did you remember the bloody stained mattresses?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you ever hear the explanation for why those existed?
Not really. I didn't really get into it.
This you can find it on YouTube, but it's from one of their own rabbis, and they say that after one of their tribe passes away, the first thing they do is they bring them down into the tunnels and they begin praying prayers over him, trying to resurrect that person in the hope that they might be the Messiah. That's how they think. That's what this is all about. This is like the reason why there were red heifers over there, the reason why they stormed Al-Aqsa Mosque, the reason why they're going to blame Al-Aqsa Mosque getting blown up on a Iranian missile is they want to rebuild the third temple. That's it. And you don't have to. Nobody has to believe in any of that. I'm just saying that that's the motivation behind the geopolitical moves going on right now.
And on that, though, if they do try to blame the IRGC on Al-Aqsa, anyone that knows Al-Aqsa Mosque, that's the third holiest site in all of Islam. The Iranians would not target anywhere near that because of their faith.
Well, yeah, I mean, Israel is technically currently excavating underneath it. So even if it doesn't get hit by a missile, it'll probably collapse here, and they'll just say it was, the RGC.
And that's where they're going to build the third temple, and then that's where they're going to do their cow sacrifice.
Correct.
So what do y'all think will be the conclusion of this squash? Like after we beat Iran, like what happens next?
Hopefully Tel Aviv is turned into glass.
I have a problem with that narrative of beating Iran because we can't beat Iran if we don't have a clear stated goal to achieve. And if you're talking about regime change, that's what seems to be the main goal by Israel and the U.S. That's not going to happen without a ground invasion. Now, the problem with that is Iran is 4 times larger than Iraq, right? So it's also its terrain. Their guerrilla warfare has been proven to be dominant because they know the land, they know the terrain, they know how to. It's a nation full of fucking engineers that can make shit out of anything. If we go land invasion, we are going to get our asses kicked.
Bro, we got those bunker busters now, bro. Like they can't hide nowhere.
But you can't do. It's impossible to do a regime change without the ground force.
Any American that's dumb enough to go fight to expand Israeli borders, in my opinion, gets whatever happens to them and deserves it.
Look, it's not. We can just rain hellfire on them. It doesn't need to be guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, and that's how you unalive 160 plus children.
So, I mean,
Eduardo, I highly doubt that you're going to be enlisting here, right? You have no interest in going over there and fighting, do you?
I just said it's good that we're winning. I didn't say I support the war.
There is no doubt in my mind that before we went into Vietnam, there was motherfuckers that thought exactly like you.
No, because in Vietnam you didn't have the backdrop of Iraq and Afghanistan and quick regime change, which ended up being 20 plus years.
No, I'm talking about the mentality, like, we could beat anything, we could beat them. You can't. Guerrilla warfare is always going to be the dominant warfare, especially and predominantly when it comes to ground invasion, which ground invasion is the only way to achieve a regime change.
Yeah, I feel like
we are not going to win this. We're not.
I feel like the American population is so demoralized. Like, I have not seen a poll on X, and X is a right-leaning kind of media outlet where the polls weren't 90+% of people not supporting or against intervention in Iran. So, I mean, people are just too demoralized. I can't see there being much motivation for this. Trump's going to get slaughtered in the midterms, as he should, and hopefully that'll be the end of it. I mean, the best thing that could come out of this is if Bibi's no longer with us.
What do you mean he's going to get slaughtered? His term literally ends like in 3.
He's going to become a lame duck
in the midterms.
He's going to be a lame duck.
Like, what do you mean slaughtered? Are you saying he's going to get impeached or something?
No. He's basically Democrats are going to take over in a landslide in the midterms, and then anything he tries to accomplish is going to get gridlocked.
No, it's almost guaranteed that the Dems are taking the House. The one that is up for a question that Trump should start reeling back if he wants his party to take is the Senate, because if Dems take Senate and the House, Trump ain't getting shit.
too little, too late. The person talking to you right now voted in campaign for him 3 different times. And as soon as he started mocking his base for being concerned about the Epstein files, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. He's shooting himself in the foot left and right. I can't think, other than targeting undocumented people, which was a campaign promise of his, sadly. That's the only thing he actually kept up with.
See? And people like me are even pissed about that because he's not even doing numbers. Barack Obama did better numbers.
Yeah, in the millions.
Give it to Obama. He was impeccable when it came to deportation. Impeccable.
Even the way he did it too, it was more professional. It was more empathetic. It didn't get paid all of the news because they weren't out there shooting civilians or raiding courthouses.
Only 2 civilians, bro. Chill out.
No, there's been more.
The irritating thing about Trump's whole deal was he's always just been kind of an accidents over substance type guy. So he'll get on TV and rant and rave about Alligator Island or Alcatraz or whatever the fuck it was. And then all of a sudden that same month he like deports single digits. Give me a fucking break. Don't piss in my face and tell me it's raining.
The self-deported, and you should see the numbers of self-deportations. They're at the highest they've ever been. And then not only that, the number of encounters at the border is virtually 0 now.
Not enough.
Did you guys see that inside of these detention centers, minors are getting positive pregnancy tests, meaning that these guards are doing shit to the children?
No, hey,
that's not true.
I was in another life and I fucking debunked that. These teenagers are already pregnant and then they're just being sent to places.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't looked too deep into it. I just recently.
Travis, neither have I, but I would bet dollars to donuts against that being true, and mainly just because, like, one of one of the biggest things any kind of illegal tries to do, female, when she touches American soil, is get pregnant so she can have an anchor baby.
I'd have to see reporting on that. That's a big assumption.
Teenagers are already pregnant. They're not getting pregnant from guards.
Didn't you just cite a bunch of underage kids being pregnant?
Well, because I had seen a report on that. I didn't go into it for details.
They're already pregnant and they're being transferred to other facilities. And I don't know, I guess the controversy is that they're inadequate or some shit. But people are twisting it and making it all fucked up, like that guards are raping minor immigrants or some shit.
Well, hold on, because let's not act like it doesn't happen at all either.
Happens. It's just extremely rare, though. Anybody that's going to be a prison guard is not going to risk their own freedom just to knock up some dude. That's like, not only would they be going to the penitentiary as a former LEO, they'll be going in there as a P3DO. Dude, they won't last 72 hours. It's right,
but it's not hard to believe, considering the verified reports that even Kristi Noem admitted to, of them not doing proper vetting on people that they have hired, people with violent.
Yeah, dude. But you're talking about somebody with I don't know how old the girls are you're talking to, but anybody that has that form of attraction, that's like in the single digits population for the entire United States. Then you dwindle that down and you look at the actual numbers for people that are interested in law enforcement. That number gets smaller. Then you look at the people who actually get hired and placed in those positions after some form of vetting. That number is microcosmic at that point.
It must have been big enough for them to actually have to address it, though. Like,
any kind of allegation they're going to have to address, because if they don't, then it makes them look guilty.
No, because they get allegations daily on shit, but they don't address everything. The only ones they ever actually address is ones that they feel are big enough to address.
Well, look it up real quick. See if you can find some numbers. I'm curious. I mean, I'm going to say it's less than 5.
I'll food, and then yeah.
Oh no, family first, dude. Yeah, handle that. No rush.
Bell, your opinion. Who had it, me or Ohad?
I mean, in my opinion, I will admit I'm biased, though. That's why I would never be a judge in this. I think you did impeccable. I would give you the win. Because first of all, I caught him in a lie. Remember, I fact checked it.
Yeah, but by nature of his DNA, he's gonna lie.
Well, would you stop with that shit?
Okay, I'm not going to say his DNA. I'm not going to say his DNA, but they are conditioned by the IDF.
Okay. Not even the IDF. Okay, Bill, but in Islam, the term is called taqiyya. I don't remember the Hebrew term, but there's literally a provision in Judaism where they can lie to the goyim. Okay, it's not a big deal. It's codified in their religion.
I do have to specify though with Takir, with the Muslim one, there is stipulations on that. Like they can't flat out lie or deceive people. It's mostly pertaining to protecting their faith. That's what that comes down to.
Hey, I just wanted to jump up to say it was Travis and it wasn't close. And then besides the cultural point, which is goofy, I don't know why the fuck you would say that about Judaism right now. But Travis, it wasn't close.
Wait, what?
Travis took the win. I'm sorry, I'm a little slow because my main is banned for 4 days. So this is my backup.
And I was trying not to crash out. I was trying so fucking hard, but that motherfucker irritates the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
So, there's a reason why they've been kicked out of every country they've been. They're an annoying people.
But besides, you're just abhorrent, dude. I don't know.
I know. I'm trying so hard.
Besides that, he did everything to try to throw off the argument, right? It was like, no, you don't understand. I'm the one that's from here. Like once he starts in that line of thinking, there's no argument. It ended. It ended way earlier than it should have. So it should have ended earlier. Sorry.
I brought up the BBC as a source, and once I saw it and said it, I knew the BBC has had some problems, and I even acknowledged BBC. I know, not credible. We're going to take that out. But then there was Al Jazeera, the Times of Israel, and Haaretz. His problem with Al Jazeera was it was Qatari propaganda. Okay, cool. Remove that one. What about these two that are based inside this country? And he couldn't answer. He kept going back to Al Jazeera.
But when he said that Kurdish people do not support Palestine, that was a complete fallacy because they've been through just the oppression that they've been through is similar to Palestine, and they sympathize with Palestine. I shouldn't even have fact-checked that shit.
And like I said, the Druze, I don't know. So that one I wasn't going to comment. I even said, I don't know that. But I knew for a fact the Kurds, considering, like I said, we left them. We violated our agreement with them to leave them to get slaughtered by the Turks. Yeah, they're going to stand up with the Palestinians. I think, Bell, this is the one topic that you've most seen me argue with people about.
No, I've seen you before do.
Well, no, I know you've seen me do others, but this one I think is the most that you've seen.
I think so, maybe. And I love that it's a topic that I'm very passionate about.
It's one of the few that we see eye to eye.
Because it requires lying. That's the issue. The unifying topics are always the ones where the premise of somebody's argument requires a lie. That's why I hate that whatever the fuck his name is. Oh, Memphis. Bitch ass ran, but whenever he does in culture they're supposed to. Okay, you lie all the time. What's your culture? You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna do that line of thinking, pretty much every WASP in the United States, they're damn good. They're damn good liars. So it's one of these things where I gotta lie.
We found the white culture.
Oh my god. White people are conditioned to lie, is what I hear from certain lives.
You can argue social conditioning. I would argue social conditioning, but using the religious conditioning is silly.
I don't believe that though. That white people are all inherently racist and all inherently liars, and see that could go in a lot of aspects. What Memphis does to certain people could be used against, could be done to other people too. So I don't know. It is what it is, but
lying is an equalizer. People lie all the time, and it's not a cultural motivation. Some people lie for a different. You know what I mean? You'd have to prove it's cultural, but it's not necessarily cultural.
Yeah, but Jesse, I've literally been in lives where they've literally tried to convince me where you will see the difference with a white child and another child, right? Where the white child is automatically just their defense mechanism is to lie. And they've pulled up shit to try and prove to me that this isn't an inherently, but because they're so good at articulating themselves, I just have to mute because I'm like, how do you debunk this shit? That's not biological. Lying is not biological. It's not in DNA.
No, it's in teachings, which you get from your household. So if your household is full of a bunch of white people that are liars, then your baby's going to be a white liar.
I would argue it depends on the topic, but there are studies where in a diverse group, let's say in a classroom specifically, white students will lie at it was a threefold rate about activities that are against the norms of the room, for instance, right? Who didn't put the crayons away? It was probably Timmy, and Timmy's a white kid, and this, that. But in other control factors, there's also class. Like rich people's kids tend to be. I think we can all kind of. But it's a lot. There's a lot of different crossover. There's not. I don't think race is the biggest outlier. I'm pretty sure it was like socioeconomic status.
Oh yeah, rich people will be the biggest fucking liars because they can afford to lie.
And religious, believe it or not, hyper religious people, their kids have a really hard time understanding that lies are lies, and you can't just say sorry and it's over, right?
The baby agrees.
Does the baby lie, Jesse?
Lying right now. She's lying right now.
Mine's due in like 2-3 weeks.
OMG, yay. Hello, how are you?
My second girl.
I was drinking, and today I had my head hurts.
You had a hangover?
Yeah, I came home like at midnight,
What'd you have, Raki?
What?
Did you have Raki?
What did I have?
What'd you drink?
Oh, rum, and while I was drunk, I came into, I was in mall and we were singing Ube if CBS Žida, like completely loudly.
It's a real person. It's a real guy.
He lives in Slovakia. He's from Slovakia.
It translates to beat the Jew in yourself.
Oh my God.
Yeah. With that said, I am going to shut down and restart a little bit later because it's been slow and this is my backup. I'm gonna try and get my main back. Hopefully I got the appeal. I will talk to everybody later. Thank you for being here.
Okay, bye-bye.
How's it?
Ciao, ciao.